Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Wednesday the 29th of January. The Transport Minister's firing shots at the previous government and says he's righting what it did wrong. Chris Bishop's reversing the speed limit reductions on 38 sections of road across the length of the country. He says speeds can safely go back to where they were. He says the initial reduction decision was flawed and done without proper thought.
Today is all about reversing the blanket and untargeted speed limit reductions that we endured under the previous government. We said we would take action. We are delivering on that. It's a great day and it's a great day for New Zealand.
And the government's confirming details about the next budget, including its May 22 date and title. The Finance Minister will unveil plans for government spending in the growth budget from a $2.4 billion operating fund. Nicola Willis says they're setting a high bar for new spending.
We will be introducing new legislation to support economic growth.
Police are investigating the unexplained death of a motorcyclist near Whangarei, found about 5:30 a.m, not far from State Highway 15. The road will be closed between Mongatapere and Otaika for much of the day. Traffic will divert via Whangarei and residents needing access will need to approach police at the cordon. Protocol could be at the heart of a disagreement between Kiribati and New Zealand. New Zealand's reviewing aid to the Pacific country after its president cancelled a scheduled meeting with Winston Peters. AUT Law School senior lecturer Sione Tekiteki says the president offered up the vice president to attend the meeting in his absence. He says the president is a stickler for protocol.
It's not been the first time where they've taken a strong position on rank for rank. So if it's the president of Kiribati, it should be the Prime Minister of New Zealand and vice versa.
A new members' bill will make it a crime to coward punch someone to the point of injury or death. New Lynn MP Paulo Garcia's bill would criminalise the act of striking a person's head or neck when they're unable to defend themselves. A similar bill, drafted by former National MP Matt King, was voted down in mid-2020. Garcia says there's been a number of cases where people have been severely harmed from a coward punch, so he's expecting strong support from the House.
People are aware that it needs to be stopped or people put on notice by including it into the Crimes Act.
The White House is inviting independent journalists and social media influencers who produce news content to apply for press passes. US President Donald Trump's press secretary Caroline Leavitt, the youngest ever at 27, has delivered her first media briefing. She says they're restoring press passes for 440 journalists whose passes were revoked by the previous administration and opening the press gallery to new media voices.
We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House.
To sport. An inquest jury has concluded the deaths of 5 people in a helicopter crash at Leicester City's football stadium in October 2018, including the club owner, were accidental. Australian Open tennis boss Craig Tiley has called for Novak Djokovic to be immortalised in statue form at Melbourne Park as the winner of the most men's singles titles with 10. And former Wallaby and Blues coach David Nusafora will join the Lions as general performance manager ahead of this year's tour of Australia. He's been seconded from Scottish Rugby. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.